Hey, this is Lorik. I was working on a way to strike a SA-10 site with Mavericks. It is a question I was wondering about from some times, and it was raised again in the Falcon launch by the moderators. And, well, if you don't have harms, and it's not always easy to use them, how could you proceed with Mavericks? It was my question. I had eliminated other means so far because you need altitude to use them, and you don't have the luxury to employ altitude with SA-10. My tests began in the air. I first proceeded to Maverick Boresight, and it was an opportunity to illustrate it because I know people struggle with it, and it was another opportunity to show it again. In order to have time to talk while the video is running, I slowed it down. So you have on the left the Maverick site, and on the right the TGP site. I first select a pylon and I select a target with my TGP. Moving with the cursor, I select this building here. Then I lock it with the TMS up. There I switch immediately DMS down to the Maverick site, and I align it with the target, and I TMS up it, I lock it, and I hit Boresight USB 20 on my tablet, which is why I don't move my mouse here. Then I switch pylon, and I directly go to Maverick site without locking again on TGP, and I lock on the building and I hit Boresight again. Once I'm done, I leave the Maverick site. I don't want to move anything there, and I unlock my target. Actually, I turn my Maverick off, so I'm sure I don't change anything. Once it's done, you just have to hope it works correctly when you are in a situation to fire, which is not always the case. Maybe because I don't do it very efficiently, I don't know. So it's the normal speed video once again, choosing pylon, choosing a target with TGP on the right, locking it, TMS up, then switching DMS down, aligning with Maverick, locking, Boresight, then I change pylon, I immediately lock with my other Maverick here, and I check on the right, there are 2C, so it's good to see above the pylon number. And I don't move anything, guys. I power the Maverick down. So the deal was to approach the SA-10 site using the ground elevation to hide. And I wanted to pop up and try to find, if I could, the flap lid, because there was no way to target it prior to take off on the recon screen in the UI. So I wanted to find it if I could, or otherwise at least target launchers which can be seen easily. So I arrive with energy, with speed, trying to pop up at the good distance from the mountain that hides me, and I use my TGP to observe the ground. I'll get a lock quickly, and I'll have a few seconds. From there I have 10 to 15 seconds just to observe the ground, and I see here a launcher, and I realize I don't see a flap lid. I lock that launcher, and I lock the other launcher I find. I had set my DED to mark to make sure I have 2 mark points, which are 26 and 27, steer points 26 and 27, and I can use them. As soon as I've done it, there are missile launches, so I hide immediately under the hill again. So I hit the dirt and I go away to have time and take space. The sound I get from lock is different from the sound I get from missile launch, which is something different from far distance strike with harms. So this time I will, I'm using steer points 27 to attack, so I should be not too far from one of the launcher. I get a lock from the 10. I'm looking for the target on TGP. I find one there. I'm looking at, looking left. I got a lock rifle, and I'm immediately evading the SA-10 that will be fired, probably 2 even. So I have to get low and hope I won't get hit.
Pull up, pull up.
Which is not certain until I really get out of sight.
Altitude.
So if I want to do it correctly, I mustn't go too far beyond, or not, I mustn't go beyond the mountain at all, so I can hide again quickly. I realized when I wanted to launch my second Maverick that I couldn't get a good lock, so I Boresighted again. I switched to snowplow on my radar to find these buildings quickly, and I target them with TGP and I Boresight again. Snowplow is interesting because I don't have to move my cursor all the way. I just have my cursor in front of me and I choose the buildings that I have in front of me. And then I switch to stair point 7 again, cursor zeroing it, and I'm about to attempt a second strike. We see the smoke of the first strike and the first SA-10 launcher destroyed. I'm using Maverick G, I mean, because Maverick D didn't do any damage to the 10 I hit previously. This time I'm taking far too much time to find a target, and when I find it, the cross will blink, which means it's not a solid launch and will probably miss, but I know I don't have time to try anything else, so I could have kept it, but I still launched it because I didn't want to take too much time for it, and I evade. And this evasion is quite tough. Actually, it was a near miss. And I'll have a look behind me and I see this black smoke, which is the point where the SA-10 touched the ground. So it lost the lock very close to me. So there are, in this kind of battalion, there are 10 SA-10 launchers. So if you can't flip the flap lid, if you can't hit the flap lid, we can launch 4 AGM-65G on the launchers. So I didn't know what to expect, but I see Maverick G can hit and destroy SA-10, D can't, which is bad news. 2 aircraft can make the job by hitting 4 launchers, but actually if there is a way to find and hit the flap lid straight away, it would be a better solution. If you can find it, it's better, I guess. Thanks for your interest.